Dun, 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 dun.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Joseph and Moon Show.
That's right, together with Terence Joseph and Stefan Munch. We're right here today to bring you one more great episode where we delve into another interesting topic. This time around, it's going to be an interesting personality.
That's right. So, the reason we're doing the show once again is to have the conversations that we feel Malaysians should be having, take deeper dives into each and every one of them, and also to help studios like this, which are currently affected by the ongoing situation where business is not quite what it was. So, we thought instead of hosting a show in our bedroom, we take it out into studios like this and help alleviate their situation as best we can. We're not millionaires, but we can do our best to help.
Maybe, but not this one. Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Anyway, once again, we're going to be talking to a personality that's very, very charitable in nature. He is one of the unsung heroes, right?
That's right.
So that's what we're all about. We're going to be looking for unsung heroes. Those who are what we call underappreciated, perhaps.
Maybe underpromoted. I don't know.
Underpromoted.
Yeah,
That's the word for it.
but there are heroes among us who we don't really know exist.
Who don't wear capes.
But Munch has gone out and done some digging. So he's found this individual who very kindly commented that we are like Starsky and Hutch.
I like Hutch better. So anyway,
what do you get to pick?
But anyway, guys, this person, he has done a lot of charitable things. He is better known, also known as the 10 Cent Man, right? Reason being is because he offers out service for a nominal 10 cent, not to earn the profit of the 10 cents, but it's just a symbolic 10 cents.
I think in law we studied this as like consideration.
Yes. Consideration might not need not be sufficient, but must be need not be adequate, but must be sufficient.
Yeah, he took us down to the definition there. So it's like you create a promise, and perhaps the 10 cent is symbolic of that. You intend to fulfill your end of the promise, which is to acquire the service.
That's right.
But nevertheless, we'll delve into why
He's doing
the nominal
this.
fee and why he's doing
Why
this.
is it 10 cent? Yeah, and all of that, right? It's of course for a charitable cause, and we have him right here today to tell us more about all this. And perhaps there are some ways that you can benefit from it, or you can contribute to his cause.
Absolutely. I think that is the most important thing. Going out of your way to really help people like this do their good work would certainly help benefit more people. So if you're sitting comfortably now watching this show and thinking, how can you help make the world a better place? Maybe by helping someone who's really got the legwork going, who's already got his feet on the ground, and helping individuals. Maybe by putting some effort behind that. You can help alleviate the same people that he's trying to help. So when we talk about unsung heroes on this show, I guess the clarion call also goes out to all of you watching. If you happen to know of someone that fits the bill, please let us know. And we'll certainly love to highlight them on the show. Remember, it's not just conversations, but also individuals that we like to talk about.
That's right. So folks, when we come back next, a person that's going to be sitting here is going to be called the 10 Cent Man, also known as Uncle Kentang, also known as Uncle Kuan Chee Heng.
We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere. And we're back, and as promised, we have the personality that we promised you in our studio with us.
That's right. Sitting right here. You know him. He is Uncle Kuan Chee Heng.
Hello,
Welcome.
everyone. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us, Uncle. How are you
Thank
today?
you for inviting me. Okay, fine.
Now, he is also known as the 10 Cent Man and also known as Uncle Kentang. But let's go back to basics, right? We know that you're from Batu Pahat, so all the Batu Pahat people out there,
Make some noise.
BP.
Make some noise. I miss the live crowd, man. So,
Yes, I do too.
So come, moving back, right? Tell us about your background, about how you started doing all this charitable work. What make you?
First and foremost, what is it that you do? How do you define what you do?
What I do to put smiles on people's face.
That's a good word, right? Yeah. To sum it up, right? He's a 10 Cent Man for a reason. You give how many items? 10 cents. We have the 10 Sen Van Jenazah.
Yeah.
We have the 10 Sen Taxi.
Yeah.
We have the 10 Sen Ambulance. We have the 10 Sen Pasar. What are the 10 Sen things?
10 cent library.
10 Sen Library, 5.
Then you have 10 cent spectacle.
10 Sen Spectacles, right?
Then you have 10 cent wound care.
10 Sen Wound Care.
Then you have 10 cent, 1 ringgit, rumah 1 ringgit.
Rumah, 1
1
ringgit.
ringgit.
It's a house, not a monopoly house. A real house.
Everything, I think we have about 13 to 14 initiatives down the roads.
Let's talk about the 10 Sen Ambulance. How does that work?
10 cent ambulance is quite emotional things actually. When we see people sick, many of us are not earning much now. There are people who are earning about $2,000 plus $3,000 a month. After deducting EPF, get about 2,000 plus. When their parents are sick, when their children are sick or whatever, they couldn't afford to go to hospital. When bed bound. When I reached the studio now, we have 2 cases. One is from PPUM going back to Sri Alam. And she's handling the thing. And then we have another one, the twin brother is dead. Well, both of them rode a motorcycle and on the same motorcycle, and they crashed, and one is dead and one is badly injured, and we are actually doing the rescue work to send him back to Seremban to exchange hospital because their parents are in Seremban, so they have to go back to Seremban hospital. So to me, the most important thing is of course the ambulance, because I just opened my doors to all cancer patients very recently. About 2 weeks ago, I told the IKN, Institute Cancer Negara, any person with the illness of cancer, they can call me, they can get the free ambulance service. This is to put, my aim is to put calmness into the cancer patient, because the most important, they will be feeling very worried because they need to go to, when you are in stage 3 or stage 4, you need to go to the hospital now and then, but you cannot afford to take the ambulance because it's quite expensive, private ambulance, to go there, 300 to 400 ringgit one trip. So to and fro, you may incur about 800 ringgit or 700 ringgit. So I think this is one of the best things that we as human beings can offer to our fellow human beings who are sick. We are very lucky. We should be, we said, Shukur, Alhamdulillah, we are not sick, we are in the studio, we are happily here with smiling face. Of course, just now, Steven said no lifeguard, no problem, because we are still okay, man. We're still okay.
Yes.
Compared to the other people who are sick. And you see, some of them, why I said, I'm increasing my ambulance, of course. I just bought another 2.
Wow.
So, because many of our country fellows, they come from Batu Pahat or whatever in Terengganu, Kelantan. They come to KL because we have so many hospital pakar. Our hospital pakar is in KL and Klang Valley.
Right.
So when they come here for treatment, and if the treatment fails, and at the last moment, if your daddy asks you, I want to go back and see my house for the last time. We call it the last journey. Of course. And if you don't have money, if going back there with oxygen, with the medical officer, everything, it will cost you about 1,000.
Wow.
And you can't afford that. How are you going to tell your dad, I can't afford daddy to bring you back?
Uncle, I think we take for granted this cost of an ambulance because we assume that it is provided for by the hospital. 1, 2, we assume that perhaps our insurance will cover that cost. Can you help demystify that? Can you tell people what actually is the ambulance cost like?
The ambulance for the government stays for emergency only. To bring you back, all this, the government don't provide that. And I don't think the insurance provide in that kind of situation unless the insurance company agrees. But normally in the follow-up, this and that, I don't know, I didn't see at the, like just now you're talking about law, about the policies, matters, what is inside the policy, whether they cover or not. But we don't do that. We don't wait for that. Me, you, we
go
can provide, we do first. Because to me it's very important. Our life is very short here. We are temporarily here. We do not stay in this world for too long. And what we can do to our fellow human being, I believe that is the best thing to do for them. That is the best thing. Because every day I'm receiving calls, please, that means people merayu pada you. People asking you to help. Parents cannot bring their children cannot bring their parents. I believe that we should add in more. And then I always put in my Facebook, I'm very blunt. I tell each parliament or each adun maybe, what the adun gets so much money, they should even operate one ambulance at their place, so that every adun, every corner of the place, we have one ambulance.
All covered.
But our aduns and our MP, sorry to say that, they're too busy with politics. They're not.
Oh wow!
Well, I tell you the truth. You don't you really pening. Because if you have cancer, you need to go to hospital many times. If you have stroke patient, you suffer a stroke. You think you want to bring your father from 5th floor down the flat and then go to hospital, and if they stay too long on the bed, they will get wound sore. That's why we come out with the wound care. So they cannot afford to go to hospital just for. They pay ambulance 300 to go back, come back 300 just to clean the father wound. So they'll neglect that, and the wound become bad, and then smelly, this and that, and you can see the eyes of the patient actually pleading to you to help them. They are in a very helpless situation, and I believe every Malaysian should come to think of how we can put in extra. Ambulance all over the country, and of course we are also trying to what do you call it, to guide them that keep a healthy lifestyle. It's important that education of healthy lifestyle is very important. Don't drink too much, don't eat too much, exercise this and that, so that we can maintain a healthy lifestyle.
So that's how the ideas all come about, right? First you provide them ambulance and all, then after that you see the other problems that they are facing, and then you come up with a new initiative, like for example, wound cleaning.
No, we provide the taxi 10 cents first.
Taxi, that came first.
That came first because you see a lot of we deal with people, PPR means Pasar Rakyat. So many of them are earning just enough to eat daripada pagi makan pagi, siang malam makan malam. So we see that when the parents get in trouble, you see that the wounds are not being taken care, this and that. Why? They ponteng hospital, not ponteng sekolah. They ponteng hospital because why? They have 30 ringgit, they will take the 30 and buy barang first, makan first. They won't take the bus. You see, they have to take one bus to a few buses
just to get to
reach the hospital. Before even they reach the hospital, they will die. I have seen a cancer patient that after chemo, he has to take a few buses to reach back to his house. By the time he reaches back to his house, he's already late. He's already half dead.
It's either that or they have to pay a 50 ringgit taxi fare.
Correct.
So they rather take the bus.
Yes. So when I saw that this is the problem of people who are sick, I said, why not we come up with the idea of taxi 10 cents? That means we bring you to hospital straight, and then you cut the time, you cut the suffering, you give them confidence, and you do not let them ponteng hospital, because when they ponteng hospital, they become
the wound gets bad.
The sickness got bad, this and that, and then the chances of recovery will be slower, this and that.
Okay.
Uncle, we assume that we have a very outreaching healthcare program that takes care of everyone, and we assume that we have clinics in every corner, nook and cranny of this country. Is that assumption wrong, Uncle?
Of course, the clinic is just for small, like the fever. You still need to go to the bigger hospital when the
bigger issue comes out.
Bigger issue come out, so you cannot just deny that. Then I think to walk on the hot sun, wait for the bus. Our bus service, I know, sorry to say, our bus service is not that punctual. So, and then you have to hop to one bus to one bus. That kind of suffering for a sick man.
It's too much to bear.
Too much to bear. We have 2 legs, 2 hands. We are enjoying life. Why not we just give a little bit of thought to these sick people? I always tell people yang belum sakit, tolong bukan yang tak ada sakit, yang belum sakit. We do not know tomorrow doctor will diagnose us with cancer or whatever. So I say that yang belum sakit, tolong orang sakit. So it's just a small little thing, but it means to them a lot.
But you can see it in their faces, right?
I just tell you, it's a very small little thing. You just take a car and bring them to hospital. That is a small thing for us to do. But to them, it's a very, very big help.
Uncle, kalau kita tengok orang di luar sana yang memang pendapatan dia kurang, dia punya kebajikan mungkin tidak terjaga setakat mana. Namun kita dengar ada banyak program untuk tolong rakyat yang susah. Kenapa program-program ini tak sampai kepada mereka yang perlukan?
Saya rasa kerajaan banyak program memang banyaklah. Tetapi daripada segi ini saya rasa kita terlepas pandang ataupun mungkin kerajaan yang akan datang ni akan lebih jadi prihatin atau apa. Tapi saya rasa this is something that not look into because it is quite a tedious job. To bring them, Of course, I also kesian with our JKM people. They are understaffed.
And they've got a lot of things to take care of.
Yeah. And they not many staff, So actually, we call it. Now we got a hashtag kita jaga kita. But I've been that jaga kita a long time already.
For a long time, huh? Yeah.
So we jaga the community. Because actually, when you do something positive, you really feel good. So the good factor in you, it will calm you down. It will make you sleep better.
Yeah.
It is a beneficial. Beneficial to me. To me, it's like when I have someone, I put smiles to them, and I can get a good feeling, and everybody around the place also get good feeling. You also got good feeling. So we are actually creating good feeling for a lot of people, not only for the patient itself. The aura has been. It's spread in a different way, So people, that guy is awesome. That person is awesome or whatever, and it's being, So we also feel good. We also feel we want to do something. So now I think we have a lot of followers, and we are also expanding the
services,
initiative and the services, and we are thinking how we are going to take care of the old folks, this and that,
and more.
Yeah,
as you said, government initiatives are there, but what Uncle has done is he has looked into it in a micro manner to complement the things.
Gap holes.
The gap holes. The last mile, perhaps. Like you said, government has provided all the facilities, hospitals, and everything. But getting there, my Sylvia, that's where he comes in.
And I think, Uncle, you hit the issue right on the head when you say you should get the ADONs, the YBs to actually provide this sort of last mile services. Maybe what you're doing now should wake them up. You talk about KL alone. I think there's just one single party that maybe dominates Kuala Lumpur. Should we put more pressure on them to actually go out, galvanize more support, and get more taxis, last mile services, wound care to add on to what you're already doing? I mean, you're doing something that they should have started, but you don't started it.
I think politicians are politicians. They are very good in politics, but they're good in talking. So you cannot blame them because they sorry to all the YBs because I know
how it works.
But the YBs, I don't think at this moment any YB cares.
This is any YB, right? Across any party.
Any party is okay. So that's why I say that. why we want to isi borang, we want to see whether it's a pengundi or not. We ask borang and borang. Borang ada telah diterima dan pertimbangan telah dilakukan. Sila tunggu jawapan akan datang. So by the time the fellow is already in the graveyard. So this is typical Malaysian politics.
Oh boy.
So we, me, you, Terence, you, and Steven, our all Malaysians. We just do what you need to do. We do not wait for anybody.
Yeah, Uncle, you mentioned about graveyard, and he mentioned about we thought that things have been taken care of. So one of the things that we thought has been taken care of is taking the body, right? Body from home to hospital to home, right? Van Jenazah.
Yeah.
So that's one of your initiative. Van Jenazah 10 Sen. Tell us more about that. What's not been taken care of?
Okay.
That made you have to compliment this.
Okay, after we you see, it's all beginning the taxi. And
I can see the connection.
The ambulance.
It's all linked, yeah.
So the ambulance, when we bring the poor, they're really poor. They cannot afford to pay the ambulance if they die. They cannot, even mandi janazah is 350 or 850, depend on hospital mandi janazah. And then you come up to, van janazah services. Of course, because sometimes the distance are involved in bringing back to the Terengganu, Kelantan, so it's cost about $1,000 over. By the time you suffer cancer, it's already 2 years. By the time you already broke, you already dry up. Your upper resources also dry up.
Okay.
And then you also drain already lah.
Okay.
So
mentally and physically and financially.
Yes. So when come to that, I think it's the last honor we can give to our patients. So we put in the Van Jenazah. We are not actually Van Jenazah only. We're working together, collaborating with the Chinese funerals parlor, the Indian funeral parlor, so that we can get good services for them. It is an honor to send the dead in a good way.
Wow, Uncle.
Yeah, you have our respects.
Really?
No. You see, yesterday I was eating in Kepong. I was having my dinner in Kepong. Suddenly the call come in and I was crying, and my mom is dead. She suffered a heart attack. It's about 10 something in the night. So I told her, where you want to bring the body? She said, I want to bring the body to Kelantan. Kampung Semarak, Pasir Putih, Kelantan. And then I asked her one thing. It's a Malay lady. I asked her, how much you have in your pocket? She told me she got 100 plus. So 100 plus is not enough to bathe the body in hospital. It's 350. Number one. Number two, there are a few brothers who want to go back. Our van janazah can only ferry 3 waris in the van janazah, plus 2 pilot. That means 5% in the plus the body is 6. I asked her one thing: do you have money to go back to Kelantan? Your siblings. You see, doing van janazah is one thing. You must also provide that kind of comfort. I like to give people the calmness first.
Okay.
Because when people are already suffering, they are in what they call that, sadness. They will call 1 or 2, 3 a person to borrow money. All right. Why we cannot tell them that, okay, from A to Z, I will handle. That means you want to go back, your toll, your petrol money, everything will be handled by us. The body will be handled by us. You'll be bath, you'll be smayang, solat janazah, everything done by us. Then we send you back. Then you need to have petrol to go back your car. Then you have to look at. I just tell you a story because it's quite.
Please.
I mean, Uncle, it's one thing that we ask you about politicians, right? But for things like this, aren't there also religious authorities, not just for Muslim friends, but also Christian religious groups, Hindu religious groups, Buddhist religious groups that should actually extend help during this time?
No comment.
Wow, Uncle. I mean, that's really an eye-opening situation, right? I mean, it goes to show that there are a lot of people that should be doing work that benefits communities, but in fact, there's a lot less done than we expect. Uncle, in this time of COVID, it's locked down just about everywhere. I mean, we had the MCOs. how have things been exasperated, made worse by this situation for the customers in your care?
I think the situation is quite precarious now, because many people lost their job, lost their earnings. Singers also lost their earnings. Artists also lost their earnings. Even magicians also lost their earnings. My friend who are magicians lost their earnings. Cinema workers, hotel workers, aviation industry, even restaurant. Many are affected and closed down. Fashion boutiques. So it goes a long way down. But I always tell people that. Don't worry, whatever God tests us, God wants to make us a stronger person. Do not. I don't deny that. Don't deny that it's a hard time, but we can actually hold our. We have to cross the bridge. There is no time for one person to cross the bridge now. We must be collectively. We must be strong. We must be united to cross the bridge together. Each one must help the other one. So if we want to cross the bridge ourselves, number one is very selfish. Number two is, I don't think we can reach the other end of the bridge by ourselves. Now it's about leveraging. In this condition, God wants us to work together. Of course, there are many people affected, and there are many people who, as I said that even today we have 2 janazah to be, to handle. We handled this 2 this morning. And now today we're handling a lot of cases. Actually, my head is a bit heavy from handling all the cases. It's all very emotional cases. All are poor people.
It doesn't get better with time, huh? It still gets very emotional, right? After so many years of doing it.
Of course, it's every time it's a different cases. I hear cries, I hear please. That I think every day is the different. Very. Of course, my partners, my staff, everything. They don't listen to the calls. I listen directly, So and I chat with them directly, and not only have to listen to them, I have to cheer them up. I have to perk them up. I have to encourage them to move on, motivate them. It's not as many people think, because to me, I need to be stronger than them. So I have to make myself stronger than them, because that is where I need calmness in myself.
I will say this, Uncle. You are blessed, and you are a blessing. I mean, without people like you in our communities, I don't think that we can fully function. And you're gluing people together. You're keeping us calm. You're keeping those that really need it. You're giving those that really needed services which otherwise they would not be able to get. When we talk about poverty, it's not an issue of poverty per se, because you did mention some of them earn 2,000 to 3,000 ringgit a month. So they do have a salary, but despite this fact, they still need these last mile services and are not able to provide for it otherwise. Do you think that we are living in some kind of fantasy when we look at Instagram posts of people flying around the world at one point in time, and all of us wanting that instead of the world that we should be living in, where we're caring for each other? Are we lost as a human race?
I cannot say we are lost, because everyone has their own style of living. But I think it is good for everyone to just sometimes we peek behind our back and take a look at what we have left behind. Sometimes we are a bit naive, or we are a bit careless to forget others. I always tell people are not eating. A lot of people are not eating because they are facing very
dire situations.
Very, very bad situation. I have calls coming in that not eating, baby not having milk, this and that. But it's okay, because Malaysians are quite united in one sense. If you look into the previous, the ongoing COVID situation, we really stay back, we really stay home, and it helped the situation. And a lot of people come out. Suddenly, a lot of groups of NGO came out and want to be helping others. We forgot our races straight away. At that moment, we forgot our races straight away, and you can see a lot of races coming together as one to cross border and to ask the police for permits to go and send food, this and that. So I think lesson learned here is that we shall be more united, and I believe in my everyday life. I see a lot of beautiful people, regardless of color, because they are.
Because you see the good in them.
Yes. They're crazy people. They don't care. They want to help. That's why I have quite a number of followers in Facebook, and also there are many donors who come about to donate. Not even some of them donate 1 ringgit, but 1 ringgit do have. It is. We don't look at this amount because maybe it's 40 ringgit to us. It's nothing. As I said that when I gave 400 ringgit, it may be nothing to us, but it's a big help to others. A very big help. As I said, like taxi 10 cents, ambulance 10 ambulance. We have facilitate them. So I believe this is. I hope that all Malaysians will do more ambulance, will do more charity to help around these people.
Talking about that, right? How does it come around, right? How do you get it operational wise? How do you keep it going? How sustainable is it? All this initiatives.
Our ambulance has been about 5 years, I think. 5 years. Operation costs about 60 to 70K a month. It's a huge amount. As I said, sometimes people don't believe it's a magic. It's a magic. You can call it a bullshit, but I say it's a magic. If you help people sincerely, God is always behind you or beside you. I guess beside you, not behind you, beside you. I can say that we actually today we increased our medical team because I can foresee that during this COVID, a lot of people lost job and they need more ambulance services. Depression will be set in, and people lost job. The father will need to go to hospital. They cannot pay. Last time they are paying, now they cannot afford to pay. So I need to expand, in a fast way, our fleet of ambulance, and also we are expanding our medical team because to help those who are sick. I said that to me it's okay. We when you really sincerely work, you leave it to God. People ask me, how can you manage that amount? My work also don't even get that amount every month. Am I right? So of course I'm selling some household items, which is doing also quite well, and of course God give me a lot of good people who ask me to do business with them. Do business with them, not big business but small business, and that can come in as one of the help. And also I'm sponsored by Petron also, by Petron Malaysia for the fuel. Then donors of course. Rich, not rich people, kind people. I don't call them rich people. There are people who are rich or who are jet setting here and there, but they are not contributing.
Okay,
so I don't call them rich people. These are different kind of rich people. They are rich in the heart, and they are contributing. Even 1 ringgit, 10 ringgit, 5 ringgit, 2 ringgit. You can see my contribution. It comes in various denomination. So I believe people can feel you when you're doing work. Many people have eyes to see, and they have heart to feel. As I'm a bit stupid. I say stupid in a way that I tell IKN, I say, is the cancer negara, bring me the cancer patient. I put my names in the mortuary. I put my numbers in the mortuary. I visit the mortuaries the hostel mortuaries and tell them, this is my number. If there is a body who needs help, just call me, regardless of their race, regardless of religion. That is, we don't let people come and see us. You see, you want to
Reach out
to people. You must not say, I wait for people call me.
I hope not so many people call me. No, you don't work that way. Yeah.
I search for them. I go to the Pasar
Actively.
I go to Pasar. You tell me now how many people are lying in the bed here suffering, or they don't have money to eat or whatever. You tell me. You as the pengurusi, you tell me. You don't come and become a pengurusi, just a JMB, and I ask you how many people are lying on the bed and sick.
Tak tahu.
You tak tahu, you belum bulan angkat uang saja. And then bila AGM, you fight for your
Position.
and you walk out like a hero, telling people I'm the JMB, I'm the Rukun Tangga boss, I'm the what boss. You talk to me, I'll sure scold you one. I just ask you one question only. If there's a fire breakout here in this building, I am the rescuer. I'm the bomber. Do I know how many terlantar here? How many people are bedridden here?
Who cannot run out, escape.
Who cannot run and escape? You know, we human beings, like we want position, but we don't want work.
Yes, that I think is an endemic problem that we need to face, and you're seeing what will happen if this continues. If people in position don't do their part to help, then someone has got to pick up the slack. And luckily, fortunately, we have someone like Uncle Kuan to do that. So I want to ask you, Uncle, what keeps you going? I mean, you see all these pengerusis that are figureheads. They don't really work. They're there. They're earning their salaries, but they're not really doing their jobs. And then you see the people suffering, and the cases just keep increasing. You help them with the taxi. They then need an ambulance. You help them with an ambulance, and they might need even more services. And you're constantly picking up slack. What keeps you going?
I'm a Malaysian.
Perfect answer.
This is the time we share together in this world. Those who are dead already passed. Those who are not born yet haven't come here yet. We are here. Why we don't help each other? Why? Put the question to ourselves: when we are sick, if we are sick, not them, if we are sick, do we need people help?
Yes.
Yeah.
So before we get sick, why not we don't help them?
Yeah, that's lingering in me since just now. He mentioned it the first time.
You see?
Yeah. Before you're sick, you help the sick. Huh?
Yeah. Because this is only logical, I think, as human. Actually, nothing great about me. Nothing great about me. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you, I'm nothing great. But this is logical things that you need to do in our life. You see, we try to go to the Facebook every day, right. That is work. That is work to help people. I don't write short. I write memang short lah. I write short.
It's
but
not short sendiri.
The intention is to pull people
to those who need.
Pull people to come in and then think, hey, why I don't do this? Why this stupid Chinese old man doing this? So why? But when you look into humanity, context of humanity, and you see people suffering, we don't even go to Ethiopia and see people suffering. We see Malaysians suffering. We see that the Rohingyas are suffering. The Bangladesh are suffering. During the MCO, the foreign workers, they don't have work. Some of them don't have passes. You know, they are afraid to go out. They got no work, no salary, nothing. You see them suffering. I personally deal with them, and I believe everyone, you know, we are sharing the same time in the world. Don't care whatever races you are, whatever nationality you are. As long as you don't eat, it's my problem. It's my problem. It's our problem. You cannot see another person suffering, and you are not giving help. No point me going to scuba diving, enjoying life, and then no point you are going down in a 5-star hotel or whatever. Then my neighbor not eating.
Totally agree with you, Uncle. Totally agree with you. And I think a lot of us need to echo this sentiment. If you have 10 ringgit in Islam is preached that part of that 10 ringgit is for someone else. It's not all for you. You need to actually realize that fact that your income is not entirely gifted to you. It's also gifted for the people you can help. And your eyes are open. You have two eyes. You can check things out on Instagram. If you can Google things like what Kim Kardashian is wearing today, I'm sure you can figure out where close
who
to
needs
you
help.
There are people that need help.
Yeah.
So it's as easy as that. But it's something else when you talk about whether or not you want to take that extra step and go and help them. Proportionately, Uncle, have you seen an increase in cases throughout the years? Because there was a UN survey done, I think, sometime last year that put our rate of poverty at much higher than what we usually thought
we
was.
reported it
We thought it was like below 2% or 1%, but they recorded a much higher rate. So do you see an increase in cases?
Definitely there will be increase in cases because not because of the COVID also, but because of as our nation grows, our population grows, there is poverty, and the poverty is very evident in the urban area. In the urban area, because of course you said that the what do you call it, the gaji 1,100 minimum gaji, this and that, it's going to kill you. Earning 3,000 or earning 2,000 plus in KL, you're actually in a poor situation. You're not earning enough actually. If there's anything happen to your family members, I think it will be worse. But for me, in rural area, poverty is okay because you have still have land. You can rear chicken. You can do pertanian to plant some vegetables to eat, sustain yourself. You can petik buah here, buah there. But in here, you petik the brick butter only. How you want to petik? You will petik sampah only lah, sampah and the butter. That's why I always tell people that it's important to you have multiple income. You don't have single income. You have single income, this COVID also teach us that we can't have one single income. We have to have multiple income to stand by. This COVID is a big lesson that happened to us, and we learned the lesson, and we should tell our children that we should have multiple income and but to me, poverty is surely at the rise, of course. But we Malaysians must stand together and grab the problem and help out by sharing our resources, by being kinder. As I said that, I told restaurants, you are selling some food, this food, why not some makcik, they can tumpang the food and sell there, so you open the doors to people, like the teaching of religion. When you open doors to others, God will open doors to you. So people must learn not to be selfish. This is very important. And not be selfish, because that's how I think when you are not selfish, God will allow you. People will always question me, how can I sustain that kind of pressure, that kind of spending,
every single month.
Every single month, and then your ambulance don't crash, don't break down or whatever. You have taxis, you have motorbikes, you have plentiful of motorbikes, van. So Van Jenazah, you have to change the black oil, engine oil, and to clean it up, sanitization, this and that. It's not cheap. Actually, the figure can go higher, about 100k if you have problem.
Sounds like it, Uncle.
So your salary, your staff salary, about 20 people. Very simple. 20 people times by 3,000 per person.
60,000.
60,000 already. So plus your maintenance and that, you come out to 100k. Your rental. Your we rented 3 houses for the poor to stay. For temporary domestic problem, like a woman get beaten up, we put in a safe
temporary
house.
shelter.
Temporary shelter.
Okay, that's a new initiative.
No, that one has been ongoing. And then people from Sabah and Sarawak, when they came here, they need to go for treatment. So they have to stay in our place. When they stay hotel, it's expensive. So we charge them RM1 one night, provide them food, provide them comfort, provide them the assurance. It's very important that you provide that kind of assurance that you come here. I got one apek from Ulu Kapit came here with RM5. If eye problem, it need to be operated immediately. They put him on a plane. They send him direct from Kuching straight to KLIA. We pick him in KLIA. I asked Apek, how much? Got RM5. So I said, Apek, this one you got to go to Selayang hostel. You also must pay about 150 or what for your shuttle to there. I mean your taxi to there. I don't know. I got RM5 only. So then he had to pay for his bill, this and that, all taken care by us, and we gave him some money to go back to Ulu Kapit. So because when you reach Kuching, you need to take a taxi to the jetty. From the jetty, you need to take a ferry back to Ulu Kapit. So that was also cost about $100. So you see, everybody think that Sabah and Sarawak people, when they are sick, they are being referred to our hostel here in Semenanjung. So they are given, government give them a warranty ticket. They come out, they fly over to KLIA. How are they going to? One lady who was sick with cancer, she wanted to walk from KLIA to IKN. Just imagine that. She told me that.
Because you cannot afford the taxi fare, right?
No, because in the Ulu part of Sarawak, they used to walk, and the thing is very near.
Okay.
And then you want to ask them where to stay. They say, I want to stay at the roadside. They think that is like what they are doing, So nobody thought about that because Sabah and Sarawak, they come here. Sarawakian and Sabah, they come here. They are sick already. They are already sick, quite sick. Only they refer here. They are seriously sick. Only the government refer here. So when they refer here, they got no one to turn to. So we put up the Rumah RM1. So we pick them up. We ask them to stay in Rumah RM1. We give them comfort. We let them sleep. Tomorrow we send them to the hostel. So no, this is to calm the nerve down. I mean, I enjoy doing that because why? When they reach the plane, even sometimes they want to get out from the plane, they want to go to the arrival hall. They don't know how to go to the arrival hall because they're totally from Ulu.
And they come all by themselves.
Yes. Yes. Because the government don't give them a Peneman ticket, warrant ticket. They don't give. They give the sleeper ticket. So normally we will pick them up. Before the MCO, we pick them up. We'll house them in the Rumah RM1, and then we'll bring them to the hospital tomorrow. Give them breakfast, good breakfast. This is only a little thing that we do to make people's life easier. You see? So, but if you don't have them, okay, let's say you don't have them, nobody have them.
Okay.
Do you know how much suffering they will be going through? They will be worried. They are lost.
I can't imagine
owing everywhere.
I can't imagine someone sick, cancer-ridden, having just come off a flight, walking all the way from KLIA to whichever hospital they have designated them to go to, just because they don't have the money to get a taxi to get in there. They're already cancer-ridden and they're walking in the middle of the road, and let's just say nightfall happens, God forbid, and then they have to sleep by the side of the road. Can you imagine that? I mean,
yeah, we can't. But that's happening, and he has seen it all.
I have seen a Malay boy. He's still on chemo. He has to take a motorbike, a very old motorbike, from Jelebu to IKN. Get his dose of chemo. He rides back to Jelebu
the same day.
The brother will put him on the motorbike and ride back to Jelebu, and he'll fall down from the motorbike because he will doze off, and they have to stop about 6-7 times during the journey. By the time they reach home, it's about 12 o'clock at night, midnight, after the cancer treatment. This is ridiculous.
It is.
This is ridiculous. This is inhumanity. It's very bad. When you have cancer, nobody cares for you. I went to the house, the mother's almost blind with diabetic condition. House got nothing, even the toilet is in a mess. I mean, you have to squat, When you're sick, you want to squat, it's quite bad. So, a lot of things happen. Then, luckily, we together, me, you, and everyone, we went and, look out for these type of people. Of course, yesterday we just did a rescue mission from Sabah.
Tell us more about that. Yeah.
Rescue mission from Sabah. 1 month-old baby flying into IJN, so we had to go, all the way to the KLIA to rush him though, So things are like that. But we got a lot of kind doctors who are working with us. That is awesome. Guess why? I think the doctors in Malaysia today is very, very kind. They work together with us very well, and of course the hospital are working with us very, very closely. And if they have a patient that who is in trouble, they will refer to us, and we will try as much as we can to help them.
So from this conversation, I take away that the hospitals are working fine. We have the medical capabilities. It's just these last mile connections. These simple, as Uncle pointed out, these simple humanitarian requirements that would make the patient's life so much easier are not taken care of. And they're not really medical situations. They're just transportation, lodging, simple things that anyone can provide. And people like Uncle had to step in and do these humanitarian needs when they could be a shared burden. How can more people help you, Uncle, or more people?
Let's work together.
Shoulder this.
Let's work together. That's all. I think everyone work together. We have just one case that a bit sad. That when the doctor asked him to go back, he has no bed, no medical. No proper bed actually, no proper bed, and he need a suction pump. So we had to go and source a suction pump for him. This is the least we can do together is to provide a dignified departure. We cannot let the patient suffer during the last few days. We must provide that kind of comfort, that kind of calmness in the mind that before the last few days. Our job is to tell the people, okay, never mind, you want to live this world, live in peace, everything can be taken care of. And, if you put the patient on the floor, because some of the poverty people, the poor people, they don't have money to buy even tilam. I have seen a body lying, on a very bad match, the tikar, tikar buru, and then pass away. And even that tikar buru is used to wrap the body, this and that. I've seen many cases like this. So for me, it's my utmost duty to provide dignified
departure.
That means that if the fellow want to die, sudah mau mati, we give the best to him. And not say it's like something like give very very but basic need like katil, suction pump, oxygen meter, oxygen supply, and then we don't make him sad because we take care of the children, make the children nicely, and tell the children that don't worry if your father pass away, what you need us to do, be prepared everything, and I sometimes I have to tell the patient that everything we will take care for you, live in peace, not to worry so much. I think I'm getting emotional because only a few days he will pass away. Definitely he will pass away, but he's still sleeping on the floor and not receiving. I cannot.
I'm putting a family member of mine, someone I love, in that position, and me not being able to help or not being able to financially take care of them. The gratitude that I would feel because of someone like you reaching out and helping me is enormous. And to think that there are families out there who are not able to do even that simple thing. It is just something that slips our mind on a daily basis as we go through this rat race, as we go out and do our work and we focus on our problems. It sometimes just feels like an insurmountable task to think of others. But if we can do more of that, situations like this can be eliminated from our communities. Uncle, how can we help you? Is there any way, any link that you can provide us that we can go to, that we can, if we can't donate,
contribute
financially, maybe we can donate physically. Be one of your drivers.
Yeah, we have a volunteer driver just now. We are putting one volunteer driver to Sen Van Hostel now. So I think Malaysian, those who cannot contribute, they can just pray and be more kind to people. You know, if you have 1 ringgit or 2 ringgit, or even you have some rice to spare, you send. I dedicate all this to all Malaysians, to my parents. My father, when he was suffering from cancer, we cannot afford ambulance too. When I was 17 years old, my father passed away. So we cannot get ambulance. We let him die in a painful manner. Of course, we also don't have money to buy the coffin. That's why I know how people feel when in that desperate situation. That's why I go and hunt them down in the mortuary. I want to be part of the people who facilitate them. I want to make sure that they don't cry.
Is that the reason why? That what makes you tick, right? That what makes you tick. That what makes you go on. That because of your childhood. That's why you give.
No, I've seen many people
for free.
I think many people need us in the mortuary. That's why I went to the mortuary. I give my phone number, not one phone number. I give 3 phone numbers to them, and I want to leave that type of kind of situation, bad situation, when I was having during my father's death, and we don't let other people suffer
the same way.
The same way as what we suffer. I remember my father's body was without coffee for a long time, and we are waiting for people to donate to us. That is, I think we shall look into that. And those without ambulance, people are pleading. Actually, people are pleading. People are begging for us to help. That's why I always tell people, make more ambulance. Donate more ambulance. Do it, and do it with your heart. Don't think about the cost, because the cost the God will take care. You don't always think for the money. You think for people suffering. Why people suffer? And I'm a big size guy. Why can I not? Why I don't have them? I went all out. That's why people ask me, how can you survive in that kind of situation in such high cost? I just tell myself, if God doesn't allow me to do, I won't do it. If God allows me to do it, I will do it.
And He's been allowing, and He's been providing.
He has been allowing me to do it so much, and of course there are many donors who come in, and I also got a lot of support. It is something that we left out this part of humanity in our life. We cannot see. I have to go to hostel and tell people, don't worry. I'm like I don't know whether I'm Gambo or whatever. Okay, don't worry. You come, we will help you. I always tell people, okay, never mind. Let's do it. But so far, so good. So far, it was like magic. So far, I received a lot of support, and I first time I'm doing about in English interview. I used to speak in Malay, but this is. I want to tell the English listener that
unsung
you can go into the pubs and drinks and enjoy life with fast cars and a nice woman, but when you walk to the end of your life,
all that means nothing.
Absolutely, Uncle. I think we're trying to touch the hearts and minds of those who are watching this right now, and perhaps thinking of situations of luxury as opposed to helping those that are in dire need. We'll provide you with all the links that you need to go and support Uncle's initiatives, Uncle's many initiatives. They really reach out and help the communities and provide those last mile gaps of humanity that are severely required.
That's right, Uncle. Is there any message you would like to share?
The whole show was a message. The whole show was a message.
Whole show.
And Uncle, you're a blessing, Uncle.
Yeah.
No, because just put others in your shoes, you know, and if you have some time, put a thought to them, see what we can do to others, and let's bring Malaysia to a better phase. You know, do not be too politics. You know, we criticize a lot on politics, but we never criticize ourselves. What we have not done. I think we are too political in Malaysia. I think all the politicians, I would like to send a message to them to say that when you are put as an adun, it's not because of the voters, but it's because of God works you to be there. And when God put you there as the adun or the MP or the leaders of NGOs and also leaders of the community, I think let's take care of our community the best way we can, and we will make Malaysia better.
I would love to have you as an MP.
Absolutely, me too. Not just an MP. You know, any position of power, you should have
that can make a difference.
That can make a difference. Thank you so much, Uncle, for being here. It's our pleasure to have interviewed you and really help spread your message to our viewers,
the community.
Yes. So please take action, guys.
Yes. At least today we learned something about Uncle and his initiatives, and let's all examine ourselves, look into our lives, how we can one way or another contribute to this cause, or at least put some thought to those things that we have always overlooked upon, right?
Thank you once again, Uncle.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. This has been the Joseph and Munch show. I would say one of our best shows.
Best shows. Yeah. Thank you guys.